Not as clumsy or random as a blaster, lightsabers are incredibly deadly. Sometimes. Other times, getting sliced with a lightsaber is only a little more inconvenient than the world's worst paper cut. Lightsaber-related injuries have certainly come a long way over the course of the history of the Star Wars franchise. Back in 1977's Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, two Mos Eisley patrons learned the hard way not to tangle with the Jedi. Their brief yet memorable encounter with Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan ended with one of them losing an arm and bleeding on the floor. Why didn't Obi-Wan's lightsaber instantly cauterize his severed arm? Well, the simplest answer is that it's because George Lucas hadn't quite nailed down the science of lightsabers just yet. Fast forward to the premiere episode of Ahsoka, and you've got the villainous Shin Hati stabbing Sabine Wren with her lightsaber, only for Sabine to shake it off a day or so later like the champ she is. Surprising as the moment was, it's far from unprecedented. Indeed, one's ability to survive getting skewered by a lightsaber appears to depend heavily on the needs of the plot at any given moment.
'Tis but a scratch.
A scratch? Your arm's off!
No, it isn't.
If there's an upside to getting stabbed by a lightsaber rather than a regular sword, it's that the heat of the lightsaber instantly seals your wound and prevents you from bleeding out. It's why Obi-Wan was able to bounce back but a few minutes after Count Dooku grazed his shoulder and knee during their lightsaber duel in Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, or how all it took was a nice cozy nap spent soaking in a bacta suit to get Finn back on his feet after Kylo Ren sliced him in the back with his lightsaber in Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Kylo himself was left with a rather long scar after getting hit in the face by the wrong side of Rey's lightsaber in the same movie. And then Rey would later stab him dead center in his gut during Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Kylo recovered from that more serious wound after Rey used her newfound Force healing powers to repair the physical damage she'd caused. Meanwhile, poor Kit Fisto and the other Jedi who accompanied Mace Windu to arrest Palpatine in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, barely had a chance to lift their lightsabers before the Sith Lord cut each of them down with a single blow. Naturally, where you get hit by a lightsaber makes all the difference in the world. When Shin stabbed Sabine in Ahsoka, she failed to pierce any vital organs. When Darth Maul blinded Kanan Jarrus on Star Wars Rebels, that injury proved a little more permanent, even for the advanced medical world of Star Wars. Remember how lightsabers cauterize severed limbs? Well, it's a good thing they do, because otherwise a whole lot of Star Wars characters would have met their maker much earlier than they did. It's not just Sabine and Finn who might have been toast had they been stabbed with knives instead of lightsabers. Even Anakin Skywalker could have ended up 6 feet under after Dooku chopped his arm off during Attack of the Clones, long before Obi-Wan cut off most of Anakin's remaining limbs during Revenge of the Sith. Had that happened, Luke would have never been born in the first place, much less live to see his own hand hacked off by Anakin/Darth Vader during Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Like father, like son, as they say. Of course, no history of Star Wars characters overcoming lightsaber-related injuries would be complete if we didn't talk about Darth Maul. After literally getting bisected at the waist by Obi-Wan and falling down a reactor pit during Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, he managed to survive through the dark side of the Force, channeling all the hate and rage he could muster into staying alive. He would eventually be rescued and equipped with a pair of prosthetic legs, allowing him to become a major player in the Clone Wars, and even more or less seize control of the planet Mandalore for a period of time. So it seems that much like real estate, when it comes to getting stabbed or cut with the lightsaber, location is everything.